Hi everybody, welcome to Anatomy and Physiology Fundamentals. My name is Krista Winters and I am your instructor. I've been teaching at Spoon River College since 2011 full-time and actually since 2009 part-time. I also teach at Carl Sandburg College as a part-time instructor and I've been doing that on and off since 2009 as well. My story is kind of interesting and I always like to share it because I have a lot of students who think that this is a really hard class and I think it's easy or I'm just smart, and that's not quite true. I know it's a hard class. I took A&P, so I know how hard it is. And when I started in college, I was not one of those students who, just had a really good GPA and so was doing great. I'm a high school dropout. My GPA was 1.9 when I dropped out of high school. I got married when I was 17, which is one of the reasons I dropped out. Had my first child at 18, had my second child at 20, had my third child at 21. I received my GED when I was 20 years old, and I started working as a CNA when I was 22 years old. So I had to get my CNA certificate. I've worked on and off as a CNA for many years. I finally decided that I wanted to go back to school to get my nursing degree because I wanted to make a difference in the lives of the residents that I was taking care of. So I went back to school, but when I was in high school, my last semester that I was in school, I was in my last year, I should say. I was in biology, general biology, and I had a D- when I finished it. I hated the class. I never thought I'd do good in biology. I thought biology was the most horrific class ever. My first class, biology. And I actually found it fascinating. So one of the things I learned was that the instructor can make or break a class for a student. If you love what you're teaching, if you're passionate about it and you share that passion, a lot of times students can get excited about the same course, the same subject. Maybe they won't love it like you do, but they'll at least find the passion and be interested enough to learn. And I'm not saying my instructor was horrible in high school, but me and him did not mesh at all. But when I went to college, my first instructor for biology and I meshed really well, and I really enjoyed the information. I read the textbook, which is really weird because I know a lot of people don't even open their textbooks, and I was fascinated by it, which is one of the signs that, yeah, I should be teaching and not going into nursing. Well, the second semester I took the same instructor for microbiology, and in my first semester I got an A. In my second semester I got a B in micro, but I also had to go through some really hard times. My mom was diagnosed with cancer and she died. So she was diagnosed in my first semester. She died the very second semester of college. I did not allow that to stop my movement towards my goal, my end goal. I decided that I was going to work hard and show my mom that I could do it, even though, because I know that was what she would want. And so I worked really hard, got through my micro class. I got a B in that class, but like I said, I had to deal with some very hard family issues. I went on to anatomy and physiology, got into the nursing program, decided I didn't want to do the nursing program anymore. I wanted to go straight biology. I got my associates in arts and science at Carl Sandburg College. I then moved on to Western. So I got my associates in 2006. I went to Western. I got my bachelor's degree in biology in 2008, and I graduated in 2010. I then worked I started working part-time at Spoon in 2009 and at Carl Sandburg College in 2009. I was teaching anatomy and physiology fundamentals and microbiology at that time. In 2010, I worked at Spoon, Carl Sandburg, and Blackhawk College teaching part-time, but I was doing basically full-time with all the classes I was teaching. And I got my full-time position in 2011 at Spoon River College. So what I want you to get from this is I had to deal with a lot during my schooling, during my life. I had, you know, the dropping out of college or high school, and then 10 years later going to college. I had 4 children at the time. When I started my college career, I still have 4 children. So I have 4 children. I had a death in the family. I actually had 2. My brother Scott also died. I lost a house during this process. A lot of things happen. Hold on, my dog's barking. And that's what happens when you are doing lectures at your house. Come here, Dudley. Come here. Let me show that little evil dog that was making all that noise. This is my dog, Dudley. He's a crazy dog. And he, well, heard the alarm. He decided to attack you. No, Dad. So, I will just finish up by saying that you can definitely do it. This class is hard, but you can make it through. So, stop it, Dad. Our neighbors are over. That's what's going on. I'm going to stop this video, and I'll post it so that you can get to know me and know my dog. Have a wonderful day.